Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. This is my Champions League round of 16 second leg predictions. Yes, people, it's another Champions League match week as well. It is now time for the round of 16 second legs. These ties will be played on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and then again next week as well. You'd have to say some of these teams are probably already through. Like Manchester City, for example, 5-0 up over Sporting. Stranger things have happened in the past, and we've got some very, very balancedly poised ties as well. But before I begin, please like, share, and subscribe. We are getting very, very close to 1.7k, which is absolutely amazing. And as it's the round of 16, let's aim for 16 likes on this video. We shall try. But the first one to preview and predict is quite an interesting game, actually. It's Bayern Munich against RB Salzburg. Now, this first leg doesn't tell the whole story for me. RB Salzburg were absolutely fantastic. Very, very unfortunate to only come away with a 1-1. They had so many opportunities. I think probably more clear-cut opportunities than Bayern, if I have to say, as well. But I thought Salzburg, to their credit, I thought they were excellent. I thought they were very, very good. And remember, this is a Bayern Munich side who is very, very unpredictable in the Bundesliga right now. They drew 1-1 with Bayer Leverkusen at the weekend there as well. It's a tough one, but you would expect Bayern Munich to probably progress through the Allianz Arena. You would expect them to win at home, but Salzburg are there, with players like obviously Chukwu Bueki Adamu, who scored in the last match as well, and obviously Karam Adeyemi as well. He's a very, very good player, looking like he's going to be potentially in the Bundesliga next season with a potentially Borussia Dortmund as well. But Bayern Munich, for me, they need to definitely improve for sure. One of the things I have noticed though is obviously Ulreich was in the net. They are still missing a couple of players, Bayern, as well. But if Salzburg can keep it tight, if they can keep it tight within the first sort of, if you go 0-0 in at half time, then you've always got a chance as well. But I just feel that Bayern Munich will be too strong. I just got a feeling that they will be too strong. So I think this is where the road ends for RB Salzburg, unfortunately. But I think RB Salzburg have been an absolute credit in this Champions League to get through to the round of 16 for the first time ever. I think is a testament to themselves. So I am going to go Bayern Munich 2, RB Salzburg 1. So that would mean that it would be 3-2 to Bayern Munich on aggregate. So I'm going to go for Bayern Munich to go through 3-2 on aggregate. So the next game to preview and predict is Liverpool against Inter Milan. I mean, look, this first leg, Inter Milan had their chances against Liverpool. They just did not take them. Liverpool had a couple of opportunities, in the first half, a couple of opportunities in the second half. Bobby Firmino got the first goal, and Mohamed Salah, who else scores the second as well. Inter Milan did beat Salernitana 5-0 the weekend. Liverpool scraped a 1-0 win over West Ham as well. But going to Anfield, I mean, the thing is, Inter Milan's last visit to Anfield, they lost 2-0 as well. Inter Milan need to score 3 They need to score 3 to go through. And you know what? Liverpool's high line has been this a bit of a discussion point recently, but it is catching opposition teams out. It is catching opposition teams out. And you look at that Liverpool side, big crowd at Anfield as well, expected as well. You have to fancy Liverpool's chances. You really do. 2-0 up from the first leg. They did their job in Milan by getting a 2-0 lead as well. I know Chanahoglu hit the underside of the crossbar in the first half. Dzeko had a goal ruled out for offside as well. And the performance of Lautaro Martinez was one that was questioned as well in that game as well. So I think Liverpool will be too strong. I honestly think that they will be going through this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's by 0 again. I would not be too surprised by that. But fair play to Inter Milan, getting through to the round of 16, did very, very well this time to get to the round of 16. But I think that Liverpool will be going through, and I'm going to go for the same scoreline that they did in Milan. Liverpool 2, Inter Milan 0. I think Liverpool will have too much for the Italian champions, and Liverpool will be progressing 4-0 on aggregate. There was 3-0 on aggregate in 2007, 2008. So it'll be a little bit better this time. So I'm going to go Liverpool 2, Inter Milan 0. Now, is there really any need to preview and predict this game? It was an absolute rout in Portugal. Manchester City just toyed with Sporting CP. But you have to say, Raheem Sterling was fantastic on that night. Riyad Mahrez was fantastic on that night. Foden was fantastic on that night as well. Sporting CP just defended very, very poorly. They were really, really poor, weren't they? But you know what? They go to Man City. They've got nothing to lose. They're 5-0 down from the first leg. I just don't see City conceding. I don't see City conceding. I don't think it's going to be as many as the last game. I think City will be able to rotate. I think they'll be able to, do a lot of changes. And anyway, I still think City would be too strong in this game. So I am going to go for a big win again for City. I am going to go for a 4-0 victory to the citizens. I think they will be way too strong for Sporting, and that would mean they would go through 9-0 on aggregate. Yeah, quite an absolute tanking that one would be. But I'm going to go Man City 4, Sporting 0, Man City to go through 9-0 on aggregate. And this game is absolutely balanced. Real Madrid against PSG. Real Madrid in that first leg were absolutely hopeless. They were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. Basically played for a 0-0. They played for a draw. They played for a draw to go back to the Bernabeu with something. And Kylian Mbappe's 94th minute winner for PSG has ensured that PSG go to the Bernabeu with a lead. Now, I think this is going to be much more open, this game. I think Real Madrid have to go for it because, they are 1-0 down. But you have to say, if they do get a goal really early on, then they'll be able to defend that lead and then maybe go for the jugular and go for that second goal. PSG, all they have to do is basically hold out for 90 minutes and maybe even, I don't see Real Madrid keeping out Mbappe and co. I honestly don't. I think PSG will score. I do think Real Madrid will score. But I'm going to go for PSG to go through on the night. I'm going to go for them to go through. I just think that Real Madrid fluffed their lines in Paris. I think they were really, really poor. And I look at that game on Wednesday. And it's a massive, massive game. Real Madrid. To be fair, they are still top of the La Liga and looking pretty, pretty comfortable at this moment in time. PSG did lose to Nice 1-0 at the weekend as well. But this is the thing. If Pochettino loses this game, he's out the door. He is out the door. So I think winning this would give him a little bit more time before the inevitable is going to be that he's going to leave his post as manager at the end of the season. So how do I see this going? I think it's going to be a draw. And I think a draw does send PSG through. So I'm going Real Madrid 1, PSG 1, PSG going through 2-1 on aggregate. I think PSG are going to go through at the expense of Real Madrid. And that is because of Real Madrid not going for that game in Paris. I felt that they were very, very defensive and they should have gone for it. So I'm going to go 1-1. PSG going through 2-1 on aggregate. So that takes care of the games on Tuesday and Wednesday. And we will go into next week's games. Manchester United against Atletico Madrid. Yet again, Atletico Madrid absolutely dominated Manchester United from start to finish. But unfortunately, it was a very, very good goal from Elanga that, got Manchester United to get the equaliser. And 1-1 draw away at the Wanda Metropolitano is a very good result. João Felix was excellent as well. There was one thing, though. They didn't have Luis Suarez on the pitch from the start. So will Luis Suarez, on his return to Old Trafford, start? I think he will. And I think it might be Griezmann potentially, and maybe Felix from the substitutes bench. You just don't know. For Schlaco and Correa have picked up injuries, so that will be a little bit of a concern for Atletico Madrid as well. Manchester United, watched them against Manchester City today. They were terrible. There was no fight, nothing. Absolutely no hunger, no desire. It was just a really, really training exercise for Manchester City in the derby. And at one point, it was 92% to 8% possession. A Manchester United side should not be having that. And this is the thing. Will Ronaldo be fit? Ronaldo is the top scorer in the Champions League this season. And he is the all-time leading goal scorer in the Champions League. This is his competition. If he doesn't perform, Manchester United don't perform. There's been a lot of talk recently that Manchester United are not playing brilliant football at the moment and seem to be grinding their way through results as well. I just think you've got an absolute tactician in Diego Simeone who will definitely be going for this, no doubt about it. I think Manchester United were lucky to get a 1-1 in the first leg. I just feel, though, Suarez will thrive on being the villain of the piece because he'll go back to Old Trafford. He will be booed. There's no denying that. He will definitely be booed by the Manchester United faithful. I think Atletico Madrid are going to knock out Manchester United. I think that the Manchester United, to me, are the only English side that are going to fall at this hurdle for me. So I'm going to go Manchester United 1, Atletico Madrid 2, and that would send them through 3-2 on aggregate. I think Luis Suarez is going to have a good game. I think he might score. And I think he will send Atletico Madrid through. So Manchester United 1, Atletico Madrid 2, 3-2 on aggregate. And now we have Ajax against Benfica. Interesting game, this one. And I'll tell you why. Because Sebastian Haller scored at both ends, which was quite impressive. Dusan Tadic did give Ajax the lead. Sebastian Haller then scored an own goal. Then he scored at the right end. And then Yaremchuk got the equaliser to have a 2-2 draw with Benfica and Ajax. But Ajax are back in front of their home fans. They will be determined to go through. Erik ten Hag has been reportedly continuously linked with Manchester United as well. So you have to say that Ajax are probably the favourites going into this game. I absolutely love what Ten Hag is doing at Ajax. I think Ajax are fantastic. Benfica, to their credit, have been really, really good as well in this Champions League. But I just got a feeling that it'll just be a little bit too much for Benfica. I am going to go Ajax to go through, by 2-0, 4-2 on aggregate. I think Ajax with Dusan Tadic, with obviously Anthony as another one, Sebastian Haller. I think they'll be too strong. I think they will be too strong. So I'm going to go Ajax 2, Benfica 0, 4-2 on aggregate. And now another game really balanced is Juventus against Villarreal. Yeah, this is another interesting game, this one. Because Vlahovic scored after a minute, which was very, very good in his first Champions League start. Danny Parejo equalised for Villarreal. Look, Juventus are the kings of sort of 1-0s recently. They did win at the weekend 1-0 against Spezia in Serie A, and they are kind of in the title race still. You can never write out Juventus when it comes to a Scudetto as well. But this is a really tricky one to call because, as I said, I had a feeling Villarreal might give Juventus a hard game, and so it has been told as well. I don't think this is going to be a classic by any stretch of the imagination. Juventus, as I say, do 1-0s very, very well. And I just got a feeling that this will be too much. They will be too much for Villarreal. I am going to go for Juventus to win this tie 1-0 and 2-1 on aggregate. I think Juventus are going to win 1-0. And don't be surprised if Vlahovic gets a goal. He has been fantastic for Juventus so far. So I'm going to go for them to win 1-0 against Villarreal, 2-1 on aggregate. And the final game to preview and predict is Lille against Chelsea. Chelsea won 2-0 against Lille in the last game, and they were pretty comfortable, weren't they? They were very, very comfortable. Obviously, 2 goals from Kai Havertz and Christian Pulisic. Both of them are in very, very good form as we speak as well. But Lille, I mean, they had a lot of shots. They had a lot of shots against Chelsea. But Chelsea were clinical. They only had 9 shots, 4 on target in that game. And they were very, very clinical with Chelsea. And I just feel that Lille have got some very, very good players. Don't get me wrong. Jonathan David is absolutely fantastic. Sven Botman is a very good defender as well. He will be on his way out, no doubt, at the end of the season as well. But you just have to fancy the holders. You just have to fancy Chelsea in this game. I just don't think. I think people did say Chelsea are playing a little bit poor football recently as well, but quite recently they've been very, very good. A 4-0 win over Burnley at the weekend, and they're definitely back to their best, aren't they? As well. So yeah, I think this is the end of the road for Lille. I think Chelsea are going to go through, and that will obviously make up the last 8 after this. So yeah, I'm going to go Lille 0, Chelsea 2. Chelsea to win 4-0 on aggregate. I think it'll be too much. I think it'll be a comfortable night for Chelsea, like it was at Stamford Bridge. I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory to Chelsea. So there we go. That does my predictions for the round of 16 games. I'll go for my predictions very quickly. So I've got Bayern Munich 2, RB Salzburg 1 going through, 3-2 on aggregate are Bayern. Liverpool 2, Inter Milan 0, 4-0 on aggregate to Liverpool. Man City 4, Sporting 0, Man City 9-0 on aggregate. Real Madrid 1, PSG 1, PSG 2-1 on aggregate. Manchester United 1, Atletico Madrid 2, 3-2 on aggregate to Atletico Madrid. Ajax 2, Benfica 0, 4-2 on aggregate to Ajax. Juventus 1, Villarreal 0, 2-1 on aggregate to Juventus. And Lille 0, Chelsea 2, Chelsea 4-0 on aggregate. So there we go. There are my predictions. I'm sure you have your own. Please leave them in the comment section down below. And can we get this video to 16 likes? That would be absolutely fantastic. And please watch to the end as well. That would be excellent as well. But yeah, guys, Now, as far as the round, the last 8 is concerned, that draw is coming up on the 18th of March, so that's a Friday. Not sure what time yet. I'll be live for that draw, of course, because it will be. I think it's 11 o'clock. I could be completely wrong about that, but I will definitely be live for that as well. But thank you so much for your support during out these Champions League videos. I really do enjoy doing them. And yeah, we'll enjoy the Champions League second legs. Some very, very good games for sure. A lot of ties balanced at this moment in time. And yeah, it's going to be an absolutely interesting end to the round of 16. But until then, it is goodbye from me, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.